Yay. We'll be doing this. I'll be all ready for the housing.
That's right. That's right.
You all warmed up.
All right, and then we go like that. There you go. We're good.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Tompkins County IDA.
Where are we?
On that, Finance and Audit Committee meeting. Today is Tuesday, December 9th, and we are here to talk about the upcoming annual audit for the IDA and TCDC. We have Evan Cleveland here from Insero. So I'm going to turn over to Evan and please walk us through the woods on this.
Awesome. So I brought the communication letter. So this is our planning communication letter. I thought that I put Ithaca.
No,
No, you were right.
It's like
Confused that.
Industrial. Okay, so this is our standard pre-audit letter. Pretty much exactly the same as prior year, except the dates changed a little bit. So this just details our plan for the audit and starts with communication. That effective two-way communication is important associated with an audit. We expect the entity or management to timely communicate and the board to timely communicate any significant changes that may affect the audit. We're required to communicate to you any instances of fraud, non-compliance, difficulties encountered with the audit, significant deficiencies, material weaknesses. We haven't had any of those to communicate since I've been on that, which is why you haven't heard about any. So the next page is shared responsibilities for independence. So we're required to be independent, and it's a shared responsibility for both us and the IDA associated with independence. So we follow AICPA and government accounting accountability office rules associated with independence, and maintain a system of quality management independence rules. Management's responsibilities is to let us know about any new affiliates that may affect our independence. Essentially, that's what the rest of this section goes over.
I did have a question.
Sure.
Non-attest services.
Yeah, so that's
what's that mean?
preparation of financial statements is a non-attest service. It's a non-audit service. So it's
Okay.
One of them that.
But eventually you do attest to the financial
Yeah. So
condition.
we have an evaluation of non-attest services to make sure that we're independent associated with them. So management ultimately takes responsibility for the financial statements and signs a rep letter, and we review it with you all in detail. So we don't take responsibility for that.
But the non-attest services, you looked at them and you understand what they're saying.
Yes. So
Okay.
there's appropriate safeguards to ensure that we are independent. Yeah. Yep. So continuing with independence procedures, we have policies and procedures internally that ensure that everyone that works on an audit is independent in mind and in the events and follow applicable professional standards. So we all sign independence questionnaires annually just to make sure that every job that we work on, we're not impaired.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Associated with the audit planning process, so we obtain an understanding of the entity and its environment, and this helps us identify risks of material misstatement, and we evaluate the internal control system, and this assists us in designing and implementing responses for our auditing procedures. Then at the bottom, concept of materiality. So we establish materiality associated with the audit. We don't test everything. We test everything that would be important to financial statement users. And we establish a limit that's less than what would materially misstate the financial statements for our testing. Next page, significant risks of material misstatement. So every audit has these two that are in the chart: management override controls and revenue recognition. That's every audit for every auditor. These are the two risks. And then we have a plan response associated with these. Inquiring with personnel, reviewing control procedures, journal entries, maintaining professional skepticism. And then for revenue recognition, evaluating transactions after year end for cutoff. And then at the bottom, we also issue a report on compliance compliance and internal control over financial reporting. That's also a little deeper dive into internal controls specifically to financial reporting. It's the government auditing standards letter that's at the end of the financial report. Then finally, we've got a fieldwork scheduled for January 26th,
Mhm.
2026. Changed that to from 25 earlier.
Going back in time.
So we've got a fieldwork scheduled for then. It's mostly a remote audit. I think we have our Sherlin set up.
Yes, I've already taken a look at it and we'll be populating that soon.
Perfect. So any questions about the communication letter or anything in here that we went over? No, I go over it kind of fast.
So remind us, in terms of the internal controls, obviously we've got a pretty simple organization. You've got cash.
Yep.
In terms of the internal control procedures, so that is really handled by the county. So I'm assuming you meld in,
Yeah.
Your work associated with the county to really, assist our audit then, right?
Yeah, we evaluate that there's things that happen here, there's things that happen over there, and how they interact with each other as their appropriate segregation duties and review. And we look at the cash disbursements and cash receipts processes associated with the internal controls.
Are we as an audit and finance committee then really responsible for, because the function really happens at the county level? So that all interact then?
So I guess
Serious.
technically, because you oversee this entity, I guess you would be responsible for overseeing the internal controls.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
We've been using Insero for our audits.
Many
Yeah.
years.
How long?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Many years.
as long as I've been in,
LM, Tchotchke, Dieterschlag, and
I'm just, mostly out of curiosity.
yeah. So actually my follow-up then is then are we responsible as a board then? Should we see any report or try and understand what the county's procedures are associated with all of this
So
to fulfill our
I
responsibility?
guess, yes, you would want to understand how they interact and if there's anything that you don't like or think that it doesn't work well. I think that you should look at it as you are overseeing this entity in particular, and it does interact with the county. You do want to understand that portion of it.
Then can I ask, kind of when the financial statements are completed and you guys are going through the draft, can you put something together for us as a committee so we can understand what the processes are at the county level to your point, make sure that we're comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Since it's really out of our purview, but really we should be aware of it.
Jeff, so I understand this. You're saying because the accounts are managed through the county, that there's adequate financial controls.
Right. So ultimately, we're responsible for it because we're the,
It's our money.
finance and it's our money, but.
It's the taxpayers' money, but
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it.
We really don't have an oversight, right? Because it's a
Right,
function
right.
of another organization. So I think probably in thinking about it, we should just have an understanding of what the processes are associated with that organization.
I'm wondering because I would say out of the 7 IDA members, only one is really conversant enough to make judgments about this, being you. Could we get some sort of statement in our audit report saying there was consultation with the county and the controls were examined in connection with the IDA and we found them adequate?
I don't know if it'd be in the audit report, maybe a management letter comment.
However you do it,
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Evan?
Yeah, it wouldn't be in the audit report. So I guess the county technically would be considered a service organization for the IDA, and we would evaluate the controls associated with that. And yeah, we can have something in a management letter or a separate letter. A management letter, you might
Yeah,
sound more like a control deficiency issue. I'll think about how we would want to communicate that.
Yeah, I just don't know how otherwise the IDA members would go about providing assurance to themselves on this issue if they're not qualified.
Why don't you think about it? And then-
Harold, do you have any thought?
Not at the moment. I think it's important to go over the processes. I mean, I've even been asking some questions as the new finance director and part of this. I mean, I even reached out to Rita and asked a question, and I've asked Ina. So I definitely don't think it should be in the audit. But I
In
think,
some sort of management letter?
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe in the executive summary someplace.
Yeah.
I can have that.
I would agree with that. That sounds good. 'Cause I agree, probably isn't a management letter comment. But yeah, let's see if we can put something in the executive section there, just to help us understand the process that I'll call it our service organization that manages our money, writes our checks. So I think that'll assist us with our fiduciary responsibility.
Okay. So for this year,
I have a comment and I
Yep.
have to actually go and check. There may be some sort of internal document that sort of talks a lot of this that the IDA has. I have to go back and remember, but there are some like bank statements come here, even though the county can see it online. So there is that. So typically when someone, wants to write a check, it initiates from the board, from our office to the county back and forth. I mean, so we're we are aware of what's going on, and I'm look at the bank statement, I'm like, oh, the money go. No, not to that point, but there may be some sort of written document. I just can't remember off the top of my head if there's something, but we'll talk about it.
but we have it's most likely documented in our
Oh, yeah,
file.
I'm sure.
I'd
Yeah.
share with you the processes, maybe in a more detailed, separate document I bring with me, with a high level thing in the executive summary.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm just signing checks. I assume there aren't other checks because it's all going into IAED and then it's the operating income. So there's very few, right?
Correct.
Okay.
not a whole lot of transactions.
Big checks.
Yeah.
Big 'em. Small number.
Oh, you write a check, you want it to count.
You want impact. You want impact.
So other than big important checks, is anything else happened this year that would affect the audit? Significant transactions, large new pilots that are odd, like the Knickerbocker one from
No.
years ago.
Southwest last year.
I haven't really done much this
Yeah.
year.
Mm,
Had a lot of solar.
Yes.
Yeah.
With our local labor reporting, we're working with a consultant called Loki Brill now, where they actually do the reporting. And the projects pay for their services, but they send the money, we hold it sort of, and then they submit their invoices. So we're cutting them checks from the money that the project has already paid. Yeah, we can talk some more about that.
Okay.
We had a change in our administrator, not the organization that does the administration, but the individual sitting right next to you.
Oh, and the savings account, the high interest.
Yes, opened a savings account and moved funds twice
Great.
for
So that
that.
was a conversation last year. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
getting some.
Lots of interest.
Good.
Yes, yeah.
Hmm.
I think that's it.
So just remind the committee in terms of timing, right? So we've got to look at a draft, and because you need to upload some information by what date?
The end of March. So March 31st is when all the documentation relating to projects as well as the financial audit need to be uploaded into the state's system, Paris. Typically, the audit, the financials part is done. And we're usually waiting for a few projects to finish reporting. So I usually at the March meeting, the board will authorize me to upload information. And once everything's in, and Sarah will issue the final draft that has been approved because we're waiting for the last few like jobs or information from the projects, not the financial side. That usually happens in March.
All right, so that means we need to have our meeting, this audit and finance committee meeting before the IDA meeting in March. So in terms of timing there.
Yeah.
Late February is when we target
Mhm.
this group.
Yep, so the March meeting is March 11. So looking for
The week of the 16th or 23rd.
either the last week of March, February, or the first week of March.
Okay.
I'm confident the financial part should be done.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working on, the project, so we're streamlining that.
So, let me know what day would work the week of the 23rd. It looks like we're gonna target.
Yeah, sure, because you're doing full board by yourself. I'm sorry, I'll be in the Bahamas.
Oh, nice.
No, we have remote Zoom.
Most plans on bringing a computer, but I.
No, so what?
I'm open. Pleasure of the committee, which may be different. I don't know if
You're
we-
saying meet down in the Bahamas?
Yeah, that's, oh,
Right.
An IDA special project.
The cruise leaves on the 6th.
Big impact.
Yeah, right there. Okay, is there any new financial statement guidance or
So, yes,
that's been issued that will affect us?
not really affect you. So,
Okay.
GASB statement 102, certain risks disclosures. So it's constant, well, maybe we will have a disclosure, actually. Concentrations and constraints. So revenue concentrations where a significant portion of your revenue comes from the county. So that would be something that we would disclose under this new standard. So are there limitations on raising funds, and does a lot of your revenue come from specific sources that could have an impact later on if it's decided we're not going to give you as much?
I would say that's a risk for us.
Significantly.
The IDA, we are
Yeah.
constrained geographically in terms of
Also that, yes.
revenue.
Yeah.
And obviously we're constrained, projects need to come to us generating fees associated with that. So there's probably a risk disclosure, I would assume.
Yeah. So it's like a 3 criteria. Does the risk exist? Would it have an impact, and has something happened to have caused that risk to occur in the next 12 months? So it's got to make all 3 for it to be.
Okay.
We have a generic disclosure that the entity's evaluated risks under GASB 102, and nothing needs to be disclosed further. And we'll evaluate each one of these items.
So would Cornell be one for that?
Maybe. Probably, because technically they are taxpayers. Individuals work for Cornell.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, would that impact specifically, may can't impact the county, but specifically the IDA?
So I guess
We're not necessarily
maybe
affected by
the county's taking in less tax revenue with, they're doing layoffs and people are moving out of here. So then the county says, all right, we've got less to give you IDA later on in our budget.
IDA doesn't give us, I'm sorry, the county doesn't give us any, I mean, we're based on fees that are generated, so I don't,
They give money to the IAED,
Yes.
they give money,
but that,
ministers.
but we're connected to, so. Hard for us to operate suddenly if IAED.
So we'll evaluate all these risks,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
if there's anything that maybe we're on the fence about, we'll definitely reach out and discuss with the committee and with management if any of these should be disclosed based on the criteria.
Okay.
But so that's the one for this year. Next year is GASB 103. These.
3, 4.
Yeah, 103 is financial improvement model. So it's going to change around the management's discussion and analysis, makes it a lot more user friendly. I think that's the only thing that'll affect this entity is the MD&A. So that's like the big beginning of the financial report where it does a lot of descriptions of the financial statements and changes year over year.
Okay.
Fun and exciting.
Yeah, I know. Those are the ones that come in.
Got it. I'd open it up to the committee members. Any questions? concerns, thoughts?
It sounds like we have a pathway.
Mhm.
So it makes sense to me.
Okay. Carrie, anything?
Nope, I'm good.
And Ina, you're obviously all set, coordinating with Intro. You got it
Yes.
scheduled, and so we're good to go.
We're good to go. And as we move forward, I'll reach out and we'll set up a meeting for late February for the committee to review the draft and we'll chug along. So,
Okay, great.
yay.
I think that's it then. Can I get a move?
I had one other thing, because I will evaporate soon and I won't be here to vote on this audit, but I have on many years and I want to say thanks for the good work. Decade? So there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I would say sincerely, it's been a pleasure. I think you've added a lot of value, certainly not only to this committee, but obviously the IDA as a whole, Rich. So I would say that we are going to miss you, and I think the IDA and the county is going to miss you. So
Well, nice of you to say it.
You can still come to the meetings.
Oh, yeah.
You can Teresa, I can walk them together.
Oh, my goodness.
Planning my 3-minute public comments.
Just don't yell at us.
on the other side, he can do that. Good. Okay, well, if there's anything else, I'd entertain a motion to end the meeting.
No move.
First, 30 seconds, all in favor?